She stepped out hesitantly, her brow furrowing. The hallway looked the same. Same faded wallpaper, same dim sconces casting eerie yellow glows. But something was off. The air felt too still, too heavy. She turned toward her apartment door, but the number was wrong. It read 12B, but she lived in 12A. Her stomach tightened. Maybe she had made a mistake. Maybe she was just tired. She turned back to the elevator, intending to go back down and try again, but the moment she stepped inside, the doors slammed shut behind her. The lights flickered wildly, the floor shuddered, and a strange pressure built in her ears as the elevator began to move. Not down, but up. Panic set in. There was no 13th floor in the building. She had lived here for years. She knew that for certain. But the display above the doors flickered past 13, then 14, then 15. Her breath came in shallow gasps. She hit the emergency stop button. Nothing happened. She pounded on the doors, screaming for help, but the walls swallowed her voice. The elevator slowed. The doors creaked open. Mia hesitated. The hallway outside was bathed in a sickly green light, the walls lined with peeling wallpaper that curled like dead skin. The air reeked of something foul, rotting meat, damp wood, a hint of something metallic. A sound slithered through the silence, soft footsteps, not approaching but circling. She clutched her bag tightly and stepped forward, her heart pounding. This wasn't her floor. It wasn't anyone's floor. The building only went up to 12. The moment her foot touched the ground, the elevator doors slammed shut behind her. She spun around, reaching for the call button, but the panel was gone. Just smooth metal, cold and unyielding. A whisper echoed down the hall. Not a voice, not words. Just the sensation of something speaking directly into her mind. You shouldn't have come here. Mia turned, her pulse hammering in her ears. The hallway stretched endlessly, too long for the size of the building. The dim sconces flickered, casting shifting shadows. And then she saw it. A shape at the far end of the corridor, tall, thin, its head tilted at an unnatural angle, as if listening. No eyes, no mouth. Just smooth, pale skin stretched too tightly over a skull-like face. It didn't move. Neither did Mia. For a long, suffocating moment, the two simply existed in the unnatural silence. Then, it twitched. Not a step, not a lurch, just a sharp, unnatural jerk forward, as if reality had skipped a frame. Mia stumbled back, her breath catching in her throat. She turned, breaking into a sprint, not caring where the hallway led. Doors lined the walls, but none had handles. The wallpaper pulsed, shifting as if something moved beneath it. Behind her, the thing twitched again. Closer. She didn't dare look back. The hallway stretched impossibly far, the air growing colder. Her lungs burned, her legs ached, but she couldn't stop. The walls trembled, the lights dimmed, and then she saw it. An elevator. Not the one she came from, but a different one, old and rusted, its doors slightly ajar. A faint yellow glow seeped from within. Mia lunged inside, slamming her hand against the closed door button. The moment the doors began to slide shut, the thing twitched again. This time right at the threshold. An impossibly long, bony hand shot forward, fingers splayed wide. Mia screamed. The doors clamped shut just as the fingers grazed her sleeve. A horrible, ear-piercing screech filled the space, the sound of something being crushed. Then, silence. Her chest heaved, her whole body shaking. The elevator descended. She sagged against the wall, her hands gripping the railing as she fought to catch her breath. The lights above flickered erratically. Her reflection in the mirrored walls looked pale, her wide eyes brimming with terror. A chime rang. The doors slid open. She was in the lobby. The familiar, worn-down, checkered floor. The front desk, empty as usual. The scent of coffee from the cafe next door. Had it been a hallucination? A nightmare? She turned back toward the elevator, but the doors had already closed. She didn't wait for them to reopen. She ran. She burst onto the street, gulping in fresh air. The city buzzed around her, indifferent to her terror. Cars honked, people chatted, life continued as normal. Shaking, she turned back toward her apartment building, staring at the windows high above. Her floor's lights were on, normal, ordinary. But just before she turned away, something moved behind one of the curtains. A tall, thin shadow, watching her, waiting. The elevator never stopped, and neither did it.